Man, has it been a second, but I am back again. My name's Lucas. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Perspective, and we are going to bring you a mock draft video today regarding a league that I'm in this coming Saturday. The draft this coming Saturday. I'm going to go through and draft. It's a 12-man league. I'm in the 8th spot. They have some pretty strict roster settings that I'm going to go over, and Sleeper actually gives me the ability to make these roster settings. And those roster settings include 2 QBs, 4 running backs, 4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, 2 kickers, 2 defenses. You have to draft these, but then once you get into the year, you can play just typical, fantasy football: 1 QB, 2 RBs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex, 1 tight end, 1 kicker, 1 defense. But they kind of make you draft this way so everyone has even balance with the team. So we're going to do that mock draft today. As I'm going through the mock draft, I'll talk about some things, regarding the football season coming up. Some new and exciting information getting released every single day as these training camp videos come out, and every guy in the world is just blowing the team away. And it's just crazy right now. Dynasty community is probably going crazy. Hit that waiver wire as much as possible if you're in that Dynasty community. But anyway, we're going to get into this video. Hope you all like the video and have a good day. Let's get into this. YouTube! All right, let's get into this mock draft. Like I said in the introduction, this mock draft has specific drafting guidelines where you have to draft 2 QBs, 4 running backs, 4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, 2 kickers, 2 defense. The starting lineups is kind of like your generic fantasy football league. You start 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end. There's a flex position, a kicker, and a defense. So it's a little bit unique in the fact that you have to draft these positions in your draft, but the starting lineup guidelines are exactly the same as any other fantasy league. So I am going to put myself at the 8th spot because that's where I'm drafting, and we are going to start the draft. I will be talking through this, and let's get it going. So, drafted from the 8th spot, I think Jonathan Taylor's your unanimous 101. I think in this league, running backs in the past have gone heavier out of the gate than other leagues, but you definitely can make a case this year with Christian McCaffrey's health, with Derrick Henry's health, with Austin Eckler's potential lower usage rate, to make a selection of either Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, or even Jamar Chase at the number 2. I love Christian McCaffrey's upside, so I'd probably go Christian McCaffrey number 2. And honestly, I've never picked a wide receiver in the first round. So I really don't know if I could get myself to select that because wide receiver is such a deep position. At this 8th spot, I do have 1 running back in mind that I like their situation a lot, and that is Najee Harris. The reason I like Najee's work or position a lot this year, deeper in the first round, is because he is one of the only solidified number 1 running backs on his team. Literally no competition, and he produced at a super, super high fantasy football level last year with Ben Roethlisberger, who legitimately couldn't throw the ball down the field. You bring in Mitchell Trubisky, who doesn't have a rocket arm. You bring in a rookie, Kenny Pickett. They like to use running backs as their outlets because they aren't at the highest level of reading the offense or the defense at this moment. So Najee Harris, expect a lot of dump passes from whatever QB starts, and plus their offensive line's not great. Yes, they did get a little bit more improved over the offseason, but I mean, legitimately, the Steelers last year were doing dump passes to Najee Harris to get him out in space so they didn't have to run behind the offensive line. So, round 2 starts off with Swift, Diggs, Chubb, and Lamb. Couple different ways I could go here. I could go Aaron Jones, who I'm really, really high on, or I can go Mark Andrews, who I'm really, really high on. Me personally, I like a hero RB build. A hero RB build is when you draft a super high end running back and kind of fill in your RB2 with 2 to 3 other running backs that just have a chance to hit. When you're looking over the past years at your RB2s and in fantasy football, a lot of them are picked off waivers or even undrafted or just out of nowhere. Even some RB1s, like for instance, Cordell Patterson last year, I think it was like RB7 or 9 on the season, and he's just was sitting there for the taking off waivers. So you really don't have to be over aggressive drafting RB2s, in my opinion. Does it give you a small positional advantage? Yes. But running backs are one of the most fragile positions in fantasy football. They have the highest injury rate by far in fantasy football, and you can almost predict each running back to miss multiple games. So with that being said, if you're using like Team 5 here, your first 3 draft picks on running backs, you can predict that each of those guys are going to miss 1 to 3 games just based on prior years. So it might not be the smartest decision when in those first 2 to 3 rounds, I'm really chasing the safest options. My rounds 3 to 5, 4 to 5, 4 to 6, I start shooting for upside. So my first high upside pick is no other than Mike Evans. I really like his upside this year. I think he could actually thrive in that offense, especially with Godwin coming off, and I hope he's here. And this would be a dream start for me. I think, personally, Michael Pittman has a chance to be wide receiver 8 or better this year. If you look at the past wide receiver 1s on Matt Ryan-led teams, he targets the living crap out of them. Just saying, it could be a super good season for Michael Pittman. Round 5, personally, is when I think you see the biggest gap in QBs. So if I pull up here, I think honestly, you have to go Hurts here. I think it's Hurts, then everyone else already drafted, and then that's a huge tier. So I'd go Jalen Hurts or Kyler Murray in that position. Either one I'm very happy with. And that's a heck of a start. Comment below what you think about my first 5 picks, because personally I think that's an awesome start. So then we're here. We're back. We have all these running backs. Is there any running back I really love at this point? I like A.J. Dillon. I think they're going to use him a lot more. Receivers, just okay. I already have my tight end, so I don't even have to worry about that position till the very end. So I think I actually am going to take a running back here, and it's a running back I'm getting higher on as the season goes by, and that's A.J. Dillon. The reports out of camp is A.J. Dillon's going to be doing the majority of the workload on the ground, their early down workload, and Aaron Jones is going to kind of transition to a pass catching role / third down back. If that happens, I really like A.J. Dillon, especially later in the season when the weather gets cold. He has big games when the weather gets cold and they start pounding the rock. So later in the season when it's cold, give me all the A.J. Dillon shares. So this is when I'd probably take another receiver. I have it here. I really like Drake London staring at me in the eyes, but I'm going to go with the safer option, and I think that's Elijah Moore, who is prone for a huge breakout this year. Very slept on receiver. Let's see what's going on here. And then another receiver that I absolutely love this year is Brandon Ayuk. Camps is raving about him. He'd be my wide receiver 4, but I do want to take a look at the other ones. Be my last wide receiver taken already. So, do I really want to reach on there, or do I need to get another QB? Or another RB. I'm actually going to change this up a little bit, and I'm going to go Ramondre Stevenson. The more and more I read about Ramondre Stevenson, the better I feel about them, especially after they just released James White. That means the pass-catching role is open for business in New England, and Damian Harris isn't a pass catcher. That leaves Ramondre Stevenson and a bunch of others. Ramondre Stevenson is legit probably the best pass-catching running back on their team. And there's a scenario where he takes over that backfield, 3/4 into the season and wins you a fantasy football championship. So, very good start. I'm loving it. I'll probably shore up my wide receiver room, and let's go ahead and just do it. I like Allen Lazard. He's staring at me in the eyes. But have you guys read the reports that Chase Claypool is going to be running out of the slot this year? Chase Claypool in the slot will legitimately be a matchup nightmare. It'd be horrible. So I'm going to go ahead and go a little bit out of my wheelhouse. I don't have many Chase Claypool shares, but Chase Claypool in the slot as my wide receiver 4 is super, super intriguing to me. Let's shore up my running back room, and I'm going to go no other than Dameon Pierce, who looks like he is in the front seat to be the running back for the Houston Texans, who I think are going to surprise some people this year. I think they only won 1 or 2 games last year. I think they're going to double that, 4 games, 5 games, and really make a difference this year. They were here. I already got my Jalen Hurts QB. So, what is it right now? As of August 15th, there is absolutely no reports either way that says if Deshaun's playing or not. 6 games to a year. Do I gamble? I think there's going to be QBs that I can get off waivers if it goes wrong. So, the highest upside play at this moment is Deshaun Watson. Good trade bait if it falls through. But then now all I have left to draft is a tight end and a couple kickers and defenses, and you're well on your way. Look who's waiting for me here. Irv Smith. Just had thumb surgery. Man, he's gonna be fine. Give me that Irv Smith. We got the Irv Smith-Andrews combo. Loving that. The Minnesota Vikings said they're going to throw the ball more this year, which really gives the pass catchers a bump. George Pickens is a steal down there. All we have left is defense and kickers. I don't know why people are sleeping on the Patriots defense. They're going to be good again. Packers defense, huh? Why are the Packers defense good? I'll give them a roll. I know they have Jaheir Alexander. Then kickers, I mean, you're targeting kickers from offenses who should score a lot. Denver's kicker should score a lot of points. I mean, it's simple. Target high scoring kickers. Who else we got here? Me, Robbie Gould. So let's look at this. So, final draft board of the Stroker League. Tell me what you all think. So, I went with Najee Harris. I did a hero RB, and that's kind of how it just fell. I really like getting a top 3 tight end, whether that's Kelsey, Andrews, or in my opinion, Kittle. I like Pitts a lot, but more in Dynasty just because the QB situation. I don't know. I can't get behind drafting a tight end when Marcus Mariota's throwing on the ball. I just can't do it. So give me Andrews, Kittle, or Kelsey in that second round. If I wanted to play it a little bit different, I could have went Najee than Saquon. I'm falling a little bit more in love with Saquon Barkley this year. All the reports out of camp saying he got his burst back, which makes that a very, very intriguing prospect. So Najee or Saquon, or Najee and Andrews, comment below which one you would have went with. And then I went with the duo of Mike Evans and Michael Pittman. I'm going to be real with you. If Michael Pittman's there in the 4th round, that's a smash pick no matter what. I can't envision a scenario where he's actually there in the 4th round. QB, I'd prefer Kyler Murray over Jalen Hurts, but he wasn't there, drafted right before me. But Jalen Hurts should have a good year. His running ability's high, and that's what makes a good fantasy QB. You're getting those red zone runs, getting touchdowns on the ground. You're going to have a good fantasy season. A.J. Dillon getting all the early down work for Green Bay. Sign me up, especially when it's cold. Elijah Moore's looking like an absolute stud in camp. Ramondre Stevenson, rumors are saying that he's going to take over the backfield. Chase Claypool in the slot. Give me that all day. Dameon Pierce looked good in his first preseason game. And then we start chasing a little bit of upside with Watson. Hopefully some news drops on Watson before this Saturday, because I can see myself putting that sticker on the board without really knowing anything. And then Irv Smith, who is in a Minnesota Vikings offense that claim they're going to pass the ball more. So give me a pass catcher. I want to capture a little bit of that passing game. Two defenses. I really like New England's defense. They're always, top 5 fantasy football, and they're always slept on, I feel like. So sign me up for that. Packers, I don't know why they're rated so high. And then 2 offenses that should score a lot of points and get you to field goal range consistently, McManus and Gold. Sign me up. Comment below how you think I did. I mean, if my draft ended and I had this team, I would legit be stoked. So let me know how I did. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. During the season, we're going to do 1 show a week. It's going to capture everything. We're going to have, Jim Strokers, blazing 5 picks of the week. We're going to discuss FanDuel. We're going to have, me, BJ, Andy, and Jim on every show that we can be a part of. And each show is going to be casted probably on Thursday night. So let me know what you think. Like, again, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Share the video. I appreciate everybody. Peace.